So around 2 months ago, I made a video explaining why energy is actually the most expensive currency in all of existence. Not money, not groceries, not even your day-to-day assets and properties, but it's actually energy, because at the end of the day, what we all can truly keep as humans, even when we die, is our very own energy. And all of these things, money, all of these things are just energy at its essence, at its core, right? But you see, the issue that a lot of us end up facing with that's actually keeping us from being able to move on to the next stage of our lives is everybody has their own unique energetic signature, the energetic signature that's unique to them, okay? So when you decide to push that out, a certain emotion, a frequency, or just some kind of energy that you decide to push out into the world, and remember, if you watch that video, you remember me talking about how literally everything, like, we are in the universal God store, right? You are constantly purchasing things with the currency that you're using on a day-to-day basis, that being your energy, right? So when you decide to push out this energy out into the world, a lot of people push it out. However, it can never return back home to them, right? And people wonder why that is the case. Like, why is it that they've been hearing people talk about online, as long as you give out, you're gonna receive back. But they've been doing it constantly, and it's never actually gotten back to them. The energy or emotion or feeling that they've been trying to give out into the world has never gotten back to them. So I may be young, but I do know a thing or two about life. So let's go ahead and talk about it. This really does have to go in and also tie to the idea of the law of giving, right? And if you don't know what the law of giving is, it's essentially where any kind of energy, for, in this case, money, right? Because you're giving out something, right? So in this case, money, you give out money, and the world somehow finds its way to return that money exactly to you, or even twice fold, right? And the issue is, a lot of people don't actually understand how this stuff works, right? So I'm gonna use myself as an example. I used to work at a grocery store about a year ago. Not a year ago. I quit August 12th was my last day. I put in my 2 weeks so that I can really just focus on myself and build up my own things. But that's just besides the point. So I used to work at a grocery store about a year ago. And around the grocery store, like around the general area, there would be occasionally or kind of frequently people that would go around the parking lot kind of asking for money, asking for like $1 or $2. And, for me, growing up, right, my parents would, like, I would always see homeless people on like the highway, on the side of the street, having like these signs, asking for like food or money or whatever. And intuitively and subconsciously, it never sat right with me where my parents would just say, oh yeah, they're just gonna use it on drugs. Oh yeah, they're just gonna use it on something bad. And they wonder why they're at the current position that they're at. They wonder why they haven't necessarily became successful yet, because they have this mindset. And so for me, it never really sat right with me that, you have all these people out here that are actually struggling, and who cares if they use it on drugs? The point is, you were giving your energy out into the universe or the world, and because you decided to give out with a genuine intention, an intention of abundance, not scarcity, that energetic signature that you decided to push out into the world is now going to return home back to you properly, because you decided to give out with a genuine intention. And the story that I want to be able to give is, when I was there, people would occasionally ask for like a $5 or a couple of bucks, or just generally change, right? And I would do so because, like I mentioned before, it never really sat right with me where our parents would tell us to never give out money to homeless people that are in need. Why not? Like, what? And then you guys wonder why you're not actually in the current positions that you're at. You know what I mean? So it's like, why not? It never really sat right with me. So I would always give like $5, $10, $15, $20, just essentially like whatever I had at the moment. And I will never forget this. Never. Right? So this was on a Saturday. I can't remember the exact day, but it was on a Saturday a couple of months ago when I was still working at the grocery store. Right? So I had given this guy like $5, and literally the next day I pulled up to work. Sunday, it was a Sunday. I pulled up to work, right? This lady just she pulls up to the drive-through, not drive-through, but you get what I'm saying. Like, she saw me, she rolled down her window, she gave me the same exact $5 back. The same exact $5 that I gave that individual on Saturday, she had given me the same exact $5 back. And when I realized, when I gave that individual $5, I didn't give it with the scarcity mindset. I didn't really give it with the mindset of lack or poverty. I just gave it because I wanted to give it, right? And because I had a genuine intention, that's why the energy that my own energetic signature that I decided to push out into the world had eventually circled its way and returned back home to me. And so for me, that's when I truly understood and realized, like, this stuff is real. The law of giving is actually real. The way that you actually decide to push out your energy into the world will find its way to return and circle back onto you, depending on if you have a genuine intention with the energy that you decided to push out, right? And so kind of from there on then, I just kind of fell in love with the process of giving. Not because I wanted the energy to come back to me, but just because I was doing it to do it. I enjoyed it, right? And so literally anytime I saw somebody that was like, had a sign saying whatever, can you give me food, whatever, or just kind of somebody that's in, some sort of like bad spot financially, they're asking people around the drive-thru for $1 or $2, I'll be like, let's go. Like, this is another chance for me to be able to prove myself onto the world. This is another chance for me to actually see the secret intricacies of the universe literally at work. The way that the energy I gave out literally just circled its way, coming back onto me. Like, listen, I sound like a nerd, but bro, this stuff is really fascinating with me. If there's one thing that you should understand and know about me, is I'm obsessed with any kind of information that makes me go down deep rabbit holes. Whether if it be conspiracy theories, whether if it be secret intricacies of life, whether if it be anything, like any kind of information that makes you or me like go down a deep rabbit hole, I love this kind of information. And so when I actually understood and realized, like, wow, this stuff is real. When you decide to give out with a genuine intention of prosperity, abundance, literally from the bottom of your heart, with a just genuine heart, that stuff will come back to you literally in tenfold or even twofold. So you see, the issue with a lot of you guys is because of society's expectations and because of society's programming that has been done to damage our subconscious minds and overall the collective consciousness, right? You think that when you decide to give out a certain energy, in this case, let's say you decided to give out money, you think that because you want to give out money, it's going to make you lack. It's going to make you have less. And essentially just having a scarcity and a poverty mindset when you decide to give out this certain frequency and energy out into the world. However, and it's not even our fault. Like I mentioned, there's been certain things that society has been programmed us to do and think in order for us to live the very worst lives possible. This being a great example of one of them, right? But it's realizing and understanding that this is completely false. So it's like, imagine this, right? I kind of already gave this example, but the natural way it should actually be is you decide, like, imagine your energetic signature in a circle, right? It's in a circle. And it's supposed to return to you naturally. It's supposed to come back to you naturally. But because society has programmed you to think and believe that whenever you decide to give out a certain frequency, emotion, or feeling out into the world, you will have less of it. You will lack more. And just essentially being in that scarcity and poverty mindset, that's why your energetic signature, it's literally trying to circle back to you, but then it gets cut. It literally gets cut because of the mindset and poverty mindset or scarcity mindset that you've decided to develop within your own mind, which is the exact reason as to why the energy that you're giving out into the world is never truly able to return back to you, its master. Literally the simplest reason as to why a lot of you guys are never actually able to receive back the blessings that you continuously push out onto the world and just life in general is because of the fact that you're constantly expecting it to come back to you, because of the fact that you're giving out in a mindset of scarcity or poverty. And you're wondering why this stuff isn't able to come back to you, because that energetic signature that you gave out no longer recognizes you as its master, because you've completely changed your intentions about how you decided to give. So it's not the fact that you're not giving out properly. It's not the fact that you're not even giving out. A lot of people will wonder, okay, why am I not just randomly able to walk down the street and find $10? Why is it the fact that I'm giving people hundreds of dollars every single day, but I'm never giving that same energy back in return? It's because of the fact that your intentions are completely wrong and screwed up. And this is where a lot of you guys go wrong. And this is what we need to realize, understand, in order for us to move on to the next stage of our lives so that we can all live lives that are actually closely aligned with the kind of people that we are as human beings. So yeah, yo, go ahead and like let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I thank y'all for watching, and I'm gonna go ahead and end the video off that. That's King Wellness, and I'm out.